Welcome back to another amazing episode of Celeb Village. Family always comes first for the Kardashian Jenners, but what's family without drama? During its 2-decade-long run, Keeping Up with the Kardashians has witnessed some of the most explosive and scathing fights between the family members. While some feuds fizzled out faster than the others, some of the scuffles got too ugly. As Kourtney decided to distance herself from the show, tensions flared up between her and her sisters. Plus, Kim, Kourtney, and Kylie began setting up certain boundaries as their family grew bigger, which shifted the family dynamic somewhat. Here are 13 most dangerous fights on Keeping Up with the Kardashians ever. Number 13, Kris throws Kim's phone. Time for a trip down memory lane. All the way back into season 2, the Kardashians tried to plan a family trip. Unfortunately, Kim's eyes remained firmly glued on her phone. Irritated by Kim's lack of interest, Kris opted for a rather hands-on approach to dispensing with the issue. After confiscating and ditching her daughter's phone, Kris quickly learned that a battle is not over until Kim gets the last word. In this case, the argument climaxed with the resounding thud of Kris's phone crashing to the floor after a single story drop. Number 12, Rob and Kim trade insults. At one point or another, all families are going to argue, especially when every single moment of their lives is broadcast for the world to see. During what was supposed to be a relaxing trip to Bora Bora, Rob and Kim got into an arguably their most iconic fight, one that culminated with Kim's then fiancé politely requesting permission from Kris Jenner to get physical with her son. As the duo's colorful language temporarily acted as the soundtrack to Bora Bora's gorgeous resort, neither sibling proved willing to give each other the other inch. Luckily, Rob left before things escalated further. Number 11, Kylie and Kendall's Palm Springs fight. What happens in Palm Springs doesn't stay in Palm Springs. As the family settled down for a relaxing getaway to recharge their batteries and bond, Kendall and Kylie found themselves arguing over a dress and its rightful owner for the night. Although the pair seemed to initially set aside their differences, the night is anything but a huge success. While the rest of the family listens in over a call, Kendall and Kylie get into a huge argument, one that seems to even get physical. The fact this fight mostly happened off screen made it feel more extreme than usual, and it took to the sisters a while to reconcile. Number 10, Kim and Jonathan versus Khloe. Due to the famous family dominating the reality TV scene for more than a decade, Keeping Up with the Kardashians has been able to push some of the sisters' acquaintances into the limelight. Over the years, E-Series has made it crystal clear that any family trip is bound to result in a huge blowout, but here the presence of Kim and Khloe's best friends only added fuel to the already roaring fire. Arguing over who should get which room, the conflict quickly jumped from 0 to 60 when Jonathan accused Khloe of playing second fiddle to Kim. Ouch. Number 9, Scott stuffs money in a waiter's mouth. In one of the most infamous episodes of the series, Scott Disick gets plastered in Vegas, makes a scene at a restaurant, and gets dumped by Kourtney. Scott had been making enemies for quite a while, with Kris losing patience with his antics. However, things escalated from 5 to a million when Scott crashed Kim's birthday dinner in Vegas. After a long and frustrating night, Scott's behavior finally reached a breaking point when he stuffed some $100 bills in a waiter's mouth. Kris and Kourtney give Scott his marching order, and he is never seen again on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Okay, maybe that last part didn't happen. Number 8, sisters gang up on Kris for coddling Rob. As Robert Kardashian and Kris Jenner's only son, Rob seems to have struggled the most to embrace the spotlight, even going so far as to not appear during quite a few of the later seasons of the show. Rob's relationship with Blac Chyna was a point of contention throughout the Kardashian household, one that exploded when the couple moved out of Khloe's house and Kris decided to buy them some real estate. Accused of coddling Rob and refusing to cut the cord, Kris quickly drew the scrutiny of the Kardashian sisters. Number 7, Rob borrows Kim's Bentley and gets a tattoo. As he prepared to graduate from college, Rob started to act out a bit, which didn't go exactly unnoticed by the rest of the family. This fight comes in bursts throughout the season 3 episode. The first round launches after Rob takes Kim's Bentley for a joyride without letting anybody know, causing his sister to believe her car had been stolen. While he mostly manages to joke his way out of the Bentley incident, Rob revealing 2 massive tattoos gets considerably stronger reaction. Khloe in particular has absolutely no qualms about letting her brother know what she thinks about his decision. Number 6, Khloe versus Kourtney. Keeping Up with the Kardashians shines the brightest whenever Khloe, Kim, and Kourtney share a scene as the family's core trio elevates cursing to an Olympic sport. Understandably upset over Kourtney's persistent tardiness and lack of interest in spending time with her sisters, Khloe finally decides that enough is enough and tears into her sibling when she spends a boat ride talking on her phone instead of enjoying the sights. The tension remains relatively high for the rest of the evening, however the squabbling ends after a seemingly random insult. Number 5. Kourtney vs. Kim. 14 seasons and over a decade later, Kourtney is finally tired of this whole reality TV lifestyle and refuses to prioritize a Christmas-themed photo shoot over taking care of her children. Unsurprisingly, Kim, who planned the event, is not particularly pleased with the development and blasts Kourtney for being the least interesting member of the family. Containing multiple emotional outbursts and a painfully tense photo shoot, Season 15's premiere was completely dominated by Kim and Kourtney's fight, with the sisters barely burying the hatchet by the end of the episode. Number 4. Kris vs. Catelyn. Ever since premiering in 2007, the Kardashians have regularly made headlines due to various controversies. However, nothing really compares to Catelyn Jenner's transition and the drama that ensued. After Catelyn's Vanity Fair article painted a not-so-flattering portrait of the family, Khloe eventually hit back during a Howard Stern interview, criticizing Catelyn for not telling the family about her planned transition. With both parties feeling betrayed, things came to a head when an emotional Kris called Catelyn to defend Khloe, although her plea mainly fell on deaf ears. Number 3. Kim beats Khloe with a purse. If you're gonna embarrass Kim Kardashian, be prepared for a world of hurt. Even though each sibling contributes to the family's businesses, Kim has always been the most preoccupied with maintaining a certain degree of professionalism while in public. Sadly, Kourtney and Khloe tend to have other plans. Annoyed by the duo's antics at the car dealership, Kim stormed Rob's apartment armed with a purse and an axe to grind. After letting off some steam on Khloe's shoulder, Kim fled the apartment to a chorus of insults from her sisters. Number 2. Kourtney vs. Kim over Kim's video game. When dealing with any Kardashian storyline, pinpointing when reality turns into fiction can be an insurmountable challenge, so sometimes the best option is to simply roll with the punches. If Kourtney and Kim want to spend an entire episode arguing over the former's refusal to be in the latter's ridiculously lucrative mobile game, then just microwave some popcorn, sit back and enjoy the ride. While Kim's decision to not pay royalties to her sister seems slightly unnecessary, the second oldest Kardashian sibling rightfully points out that Kourtney has to literally do nothing to appear in the game. Number 1. Kendall and Kylie's ESPY fight. While the Kardashian siblings tend to be at the forefront of any family squabble, occasionally the focus shifts to the Jenner sisters. With Catelyn scheduled to receive the Arthur Ashe Courage Award at the ESPY Awards, the young Instagram icons were naturally nervous prior to the ceremony, and the tension finally boiled over when Kylie denied Kendall's request to borrow a dress. After a huge fight that featured a cameo by Kylie's dogs, the sisters realized their anger was merely a way to alleviate some of the stress surrounding Catelyn's award ceremony. So guys, that's all for today's video. Share as much as you can as it really motivates us to create more content for you guys. With that, we end our video. Hope you liked the video.